next comedian is an up-and-coming star in the Midwest comedy community. He recently won the Comedy 101 Couch-to-Stage Comedy Competition at this very theater. He has set himself apart from his peers with his playful yet edgy stage presence. He's quickly gaining traction at clubs and theaters throughout the region. He is a house MC at the Underground Laugh Lounge, is this area's finest comedy club, opening September 8th in Niles, Michigan. Please welcome to the stage my friend, Brian Wells.
Hi guys. Hi. Oh my gosh, I love it. Guys, keep it going for Blair. Blair has become one of my very dear friends. So much so that one of my jokes tonight is about her. So I'm going to let that stew with you this evening. But on a serious note, this is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. So the fact that you guys are out there listening to us, participating, that really means so much to me. After everything that we have all been through, thank you. Thank you for showing up. So give yourself a round of applause. We're lucky to be here. We are lucky to be here. I am lucky to be here. You guys, I was almost murdered. Me, murdered at Target. I have not met everybody that I'm ever going to meet, but I have met the last person. So I'm just gonna shock you real quick. I'm gonna be 41 this year, and I still run in the stores. So I was at Target running for a Diet Coke. My mom calls Diet Coke devil juice. I call it my coping mechanism, so whatever. But I was running in the store for a Diet Coke, and I ran into this woman. And I ran into her, and she was like, "Oh, may I have coffee?" And I turned to apologize, but then my eyes were assaulted. We're gonna get into the look. From toe to head, she was wearing cork wedges. My daddy calls those fucking pumps. She was wearing capris. They were Old Navy. She had very low body fat. She had a few too many fun tans. Tons of blonde hair. It was L'Oreal, not balayage. And then she had these huge boobs, huge, and they were pierced. She could have picked up WSBT on those things. And then she was tattooed. She had these tattooed sleeves. Barbie, King, a convertible, crossbone lipstick, and then down her left forearm, she had the 1992 Totally Awesome Hair Barbie. It was a good choice. It was a good choice. I was looking at Barbie, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, ma'am. And she was like, "Oh, it's okay. You're childlike." This is Target on a Sunday, and you're dressed up as Bargain Bin Barbie. I think not. So, but this Bargain Bin Barbie, she then stalked me the entire Target adventure. I had to pull over my shopping cart to make a point to my friend. I'm like, "She's following us." I had to watch her physically leave the store. She drove off in a pink Jeep. She had a ton of those like pink ducks in the dash. So, but it was crazy. And it was right there as I saw her drive off, I saw my end. Barbie has been a yoga teacher. She's been a mermaid. She's been an astronaut. Now, serial killer. I imagined myself in that moment, waking up in her basement, naked, wrapped in cellophane, the music of Taylor Swift blasting in the background. She enters the room. She's got a piercing gun. "Look what you made me do, Ken. Look what you made me do." She gets a little too hippie. She's got me gagged with one of those pink ducks. And this is my nightmare and my dream. And guys, she is still out there. She's out there. And just like Bigfoot, I didn't get a picture. Somebody call Ryan Murphy right now. American Horror Story. Mattel. But I lived, so yay. So, but there has been a real death recently. My friend's cat died. It's very tragic. I'm allergic to cats, so I don't know what that's like, but I have empathy because I have a dog. But this friend, as she was mourning and grieving, she asked me, she was like, "Brian, what type of urn should I get for my cat? The perfect one? I don't know. What about me says I know something about cat urns? It just makes no sense. This same friend, she was like, hey Brian, why do people bleach their buttholes? Again, what about me says that I know something about butthole bleaching? But we talked about it, I cleaned some things up for her, and she then said, thank you, Brian. My kids and I knew that you'd know the answer. Exactly. Well, I was like, you guys had a family meeting, didn't know what this was. And we're like, yeah, Brian Wells, butthole bleacher. Yeah. That's what they thought. And so again, like I'm a dog dad. I have one dog. He's a little dude. His name is Tux. T-U-X. Like a tuxedo, because he's black, white, and handsome. This same friend, she was like, Brian, did you name him after the Tux hemorrhoid pads? No, that is T-U-C-K-U-F-U-C-K. No, I didn't do that. Who would do that? Who would do that to an animal? But you know, God just got a kitty cat named Kotex, so there you go. Like I said, I'm a dog dad, it's just him and I don't think that I'm alone in this. Animals should not be in the room when adult time is happening, correct? Yeah, thank you, yes. Animals should not be in the room when this is happening, whether it's by yourself or with another person. I'm sorry, buddy, you know, when the circus is in town and it's time to clown, you gotta knick-knack, paddywhack out of here because I gotta give a whole bone. So, just keeping it real. So, because this is how I keep it real, because this is the type of dog that I am, this is the type of parent that I am, my dog is weird, and he waits for me whenever that is done, and this is the only time he makes eye contact with me. Like, he waits for me outside of the room, waiting, gonna get me. And I imagine him slut-shaming me. I imagine my little angel saying things like, Dad, are you making mac and cheese in the bedroom? Dad, I don't have a stepbrother, and why does he need a permission slip signed so badly? Dad, again? I don't know what I have done. I don't know what I have done to raise such a close-minded animal. I'm a responsible dog dad. He's been fixed, but we've still had the birds and bees talk because there are some real bitches out there. And I don't judge his relationship with my couch cushions, so I don't understand how I raised an animal that slut shames or kink shames. In our home, we have 2 rules about kinks, okay? 2 golden rules. Rule number 1, don't knock it till you try it. I'm not into feet, but I can respectfully keep them out of my mouth. And no, when I look out at all you people, I don't think I've seen a room full of diaper play, but for those of you who are, go, go, gaga, I see you. I think the diaper play is revealing itself. So, but I'm just saying. Rule number 2, if you are not willing to go to the emergency room and explain what happened, maybe don't. Exactly, don't. I'm sorry, no healthcare professional will believe you when you say, well, I don't know. No, that's not true. That's not a real story. I'm sorry, when 2 grown men show up in the emergency room and one has a Hot Wheel track come out of his ass and the other one is choking on a toy tire, that's not the Grand Prix. That's ASCAR. And call me Dale Earnhardt Jr. Toot toot beep beep. I'm ready for self-driving cars, to be totally honest. People that know me know that I'm not a bad driver, said every bad driver, but I'm definitely a slow driver, and sometimes I'm distracted. I saw this sign as I was driving, and it said, "Dentists are sensitive. They have fillings." And I was like, oh, they misspelled feelings. I would have spelled that S-A-T-A-N-I-C, satanic. That's the reaction I usually get. I am keeping this in because the first time I ever told that joke, I was telling it to a dear friend, and I spelled out the word satanic, and she took her head and she tilted it, and she said, "Santana Ice?" And I was like, that is my new alias. So if you see me out in public and I don't turn around to Brian, try Santana Ice. But if Santana Ice turns around, I just want you to know, Santana Ice is doing Apple Fitness kickboxing and Weight Watchers, so he's hangry. So watch out. So I'm back on Tinder. So if you find me, swipe right. But I'm on Tinder because I don't want to die alone. But the Tinder algorithm has also given up on my love life because there are a lot of couples on my Tinder of all kinds. And you know, that's great. Whatever consenting adults want to do, have at it. Get it. Live your best life. Take a shower, say a prayer, sign an NDA, put it on OnlyFans, whatever you need to do. I just feel like there's a different app for that. I'm going to take a pause right here. I don't know if you can tell by the sound of my voice or not, but I've never been with a woman. So, I think some of you put it together, but I wanted to make sure, because when these couples show up on my Tinder and there's a woman, I don't know what to do with that. I have no clue. But I'm kind of curious about it. Kind of. Not in a bi-curious type of way, not in a way that would give my parents hope for grandchildren, but in a Magic Rock Sea Monkeys type of way. Like, I'll get it wet, but I'm not going to touch that thing, and I will eventually forget about it. But I feel bad for women, because first, you know, men wanted to do butt stuff to you, and now they want you to do butt stuff to them. So, in these couple situations, when the man wants to get pegged, and they're straight, number one, hey, but number two, pegging, that's a commitment. Now, does everybody in here know what pegging is? Maybe, okay. No, okay, perfect. This is my advice. At home, Urban Dictionary, but pro tip, do not Google this on a work computer. Don't do it. This is not about pirates walking on peg legs. This is about pirates sitting on peg legs. No, it's not that sound. It's more of a or oh yeah, if they got 50th, or an Olive Garden gift card. Guys, where are we as a people that the Olive Garden is no longer romantic? Is romance dead as well? I mean, when you're there, you're family. That's a boner killer right there. And the never-ending pasta bowl is really not food for sexy time. Unless you're going to copulate to repopulate the next day. I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint after all. It's really carb loading for load blowing. But everything at the Olive Garden anymore to me is very dirty. From the noodles, to the tossing of the salad, to the unlimited breadsticks. I'll give you my unlimited breadstick. Consensually? Consensually! I've got to make eye contact and I've got to hear yes. I tried that line on a date once, and they were very disappointed that my breadstick did not measure up to the Elkhart faithful. Did you say Okay, somebody knows me. Somebody knows me, thank you. Thanks for shaving me. But this is my theory about this. 40 inches is 40 inches. So if an Olive Garden breadstick is 8 inches and you had 5 breadsticks, that's 40 inches of pleasure. So what does it matter that I had to give you my breadstick 10, 13 times? I mean, this is the Olive Garden, not the Golden Corral, you greedy piglet. Then there's that Dean Martin song that plays every time I am there. I've written a new lyric. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yes.
Thank you. In Napoli, dun 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 dun. When the jizz hits your eye and your soul dies inside, that's amore. Dun 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 dun. When you suddenly slip out and your man pull head south, someone's but sorry. Dun 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 dun. That's a ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Now I'm a hooray. Dun 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 dun. You're welcome. I can't help it that I made this way. My poor parents. But that's why this Barbie is a theoretical scientist, just like Stephen Hawking. You know, Stephen, when he was around, he used to say really smart things like, the universe is big. Yeah, we got it. Even flat earthers have got it. They can look up. Hold my beer, Steve. I can tell you with 100% statistical accuracy that if you put 2 Olive Garden meatballs in your mouth and say, these could be your testicles, that guaranteed no one will understand what you're saying because you've got balls in your mouth! That's why my sponsor today is Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes. Fuck like a sinner, but smell like a saint, because I wipe my balls and taint. Dude Wipes. Those are fresh. I wish I was sponsored. I wish. But on a serious note, I actually really want to delete Tinder, because if you have been on that Tinder grind, it's hard and it's demeaning and it feels hopeless sometimes. And then you see in real life 2 people that are perfect for one another, perfect, but then they can't see it. Do you guys know people like this that they're perfect but they can't see it? Yes, thank you guys. But yeah, so I know these 2 people. Okay, trigger warning. I don't want to offend anybody right now. These 2 people, they're straight. They're straight. I don't know how to talk about them. Clearly they've never listened to the spiritual gospel that shares believe, but, I don't understand their lifestyle, but, I shouldn't say that. Heterosexuality is genetic, RVing is a lifestyle, but what I'm learning now, the politically correct way to talk about them is to say the homosexually impaired. So the man in this homosexually impaired situation, he's all right. He's all right. He wants a Donnery. Like, he wants Betty Crocker, pearl necklace. He wants a lady on the street, freaking the sheets, scapegoat of a woman because he's into toxic masculinity. That's his business, whatever. But I know in my heart that he's into chest shitting. Do you want to know how I know? Do you guys want to know how I know?
Yes!
Okay, because I know! I can see it all over him. Metaphorically, I don't want to see that, But I know in my heart that he's into this. He wants to shit and be shithead. It's just crazy. And the girl in this situation, she's great, but she's not a Donna Reed. She's a tomboy. But I know in my heart that she's into chest shitting. Do you guys want to know how I know? Do you want to know how? Yeah, okay, how? Because I smelled it. This time I smelled it. So I was around her and I was like, oh, Mama, speed stick. But then, on second whiff, I was like, that's not like a BO taco meat type of smell. That's not Thanksgiving corn in a cob. That's corn in a cob of poop. I smell poop on her, guys. And I would hate for these two to get up to heaven, to float up to the pearly gates, and for God to be there, and for them to be in front of God, and God to be like, look, you guys could have had a lifetime of chest shitting if you had just gone over yourself bullshitting. And I ask myself, is this the heaven that conservatives are fighting for? And if it is, I want this for them. I hope they get it. Guys, who named a flute a flute? I'm just asking because I'm really worried about the flute. As somebody that grew up and I was just horribly bullied for being gay, I'm afraid that the flute and flutists are going to be the next target. Why is the flute gay? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. The flute is the only woodwind instrument that doesn't have a reed. So it's kind of like with good clips, and that's kind of good. It doesn't have one. And you guys are now thinking, how does that homo know what a clit is? You guys. I came out of a vagina before I came out of the closet. So I've seen one. And I have the internet. But, I'm just saying, and before any of you straight people get upset, I want to let you know, I have saved the life of a vagina. Me. I did not give it mouth to mouth, but I did save a vagina's life. So, this is what happened. I was having dinner with two girlfriends, and the one girlfriend was like, she suspected that her boyfriend was having an affair because her Pocahontas was having some different colors of the wind. So what she was doing, she was putting garlic cloves up there. And when she told me this, I was like, are you trying to fight gonorrhea or Dracula, Abraham Van Hussey? Like, I wouldn't do that. And maybe don't. Maybe call Planned Parenthood. God bless Planned Parenthood. My Planned Parenthood, I have them on speed dial, number one. But number two, they taught me a very valuable lesson. Deliver difficult news with a rhyme or a jingle. You've got HPV and herpes, so be careful slapping peepees. It softens the blow. It limits the number of blows, but it softens the blow. But that said, it's like, maybe don't do that. Then the other girl that we were having dinner with, she said, well, Brian, she's gonna know if she puts it up her butthole. She only has 2 holes. To which the other girl and I were like, no, you have 3 holes down there. You've got a loaf cutter, a juicer, and pee refills. And there I was, Brian Wells, WebMD, teaching female anatomy and sex ed at the Olive Garden. But I never want this to happen again to another vagina ever in the history of life. So what I want to do right now is I want to do a little cheer for vagina health. So you guys never forget this moment. So on 3, we're going to say 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. Together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. Consensually. Consensually. I gotta hear yes. Yes. And I gotta make eye contact. Make eye contact. Give yourself a round of applause. Good job. I just want to take a time out right now and mention that joke was not about Blair. Blair can count. So, but this is about the flute, and I want to give it a manly name. Trombone is taken. French horn, you practically fist all the way up to your elbow, so that is out of the question. What am I going to call it? Man whistle. I am going to call man whistle. I am going to get up to heaven and I'm going to be the first man whistler in God's choir. I am going to blow that man whistle so hard for Jesus. It's going to be amazing. Speaking of God's choir, he has gotten a few new angels recently. A few new choir members. Sinead, it's a big one. Yeah. Tony Bennett, he's doing okay for himself. He did great down here, he's going to do great upstairs. Pee Wee Herman went up there. Oh my God, Pee Wee. And Tina Turner. Okay, the room just got really awkward. I know. I have been getting this my entire life. I look just like Tina Turner. It's a thing. And now I said it, you're like, it's weird. I know.
So weird.
So weird. And guys, my parents are white. Like, we don't know how this happened. We don't know. I mean, my parents, I did a 23andMe. I found out that my brother's my cousin, but no Tina. And the similarities, they just aren't in there. Watch this. Sit down. Pick up those jaws, scoop those brains back in those ears. I know, but it doesn't end there. She was born in rural Tennessee. I was born in rural Tennessee. True story. She's an award-winning entertainer. Yeah. I'm an award-winning entertainer. She married Ike. I, back in the day, once dated a woman who turned out to be that word that rhymes with Ike. Blank. I'm not going to use that word. It's not nice. But before anybody gets butthurt about that word, I want to let you know I wrote this joke and I gave this joke to that blank. And she now tells this exact same joke about me and Bob Saget. So the next time you see a blank and a blank walk into a bar, you know it's a gay bar. But you guys, maybe I shouldn't worry about Tina or Tinder or Barbie murdering me, because we don't want to die somehow. You know, it happens. And maybe I should really focus on getting a real job. And work with these hands. But it's just hard out there. But the Mishawaka Police Department had a career fair recently. Don't you guys think that I'd make the best cop? Yeah, me. This was my audition. I mean, my interview. Do you guys feel safe? I'm working with a recruiter still. Guys, if you didn't like my material tonight, my name's Santana Ice. Otherwise, thank you again so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm Brian Wells.